There's something about the sound of your phone ringing, especially late at night. Greeting the voice on the other end should be routine. But what if it's not? These are real phone calls that never should have happened. Messages that shattered silence. Voices you can't forget. Welcome back to Brainrot Digest. Here are 10 unsettling phone calls that still echo through your mind. But before we begin, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more unsettling stories that burrow deep in your brain. 1. The I'm Alive voicemail. It started as a tragic accident. In 2008, 19-year-old Brandon Swanson crashed his car into a ditch near Lynn, Minnesota. He wasn't hurt, just disoriented in the dark, and called his parents for help. As they stayed on the phone trying to find him, Brandon suddenly shouted, "Oh, shit," and the line went silent. For years, his parents held on to that last call. They thought it was the last they'd ever hear from him. Then, 2 months later, the house phone rang. The caller ID said it was Brandon's number. No one spoke at first. Just muffled static. Then something breathy, barely audible. "I'm alive." His mother picked up, frantic, but the voice didn't come again. Investigators traced the number, but the call hadn't gone through normal networks. There was no phone plan, no tower ping. And worse, the voicemail vanished before they could forward it to police. Was it a pocket dial? A prank? Or a message from somewhere in between? Brandon was never found. But the family still remembers the voice, and that chilling final message. "I'm alive." 2. The Lars Middank call. In 2014, Lars Middank, a 28-year-old German tourist, was vacationing in Bulgaria with friends when a fight outside a bar injured his eardrum. Doctors advised him not to fly home yet, so his friends left without him. Alone, Lars checked into a cheap hotel, and then things got strange. He called his mother, whispering, "There's something wrong. They're following me. I don't know why. Please cancel my credit cards." She later described his voice as terrified. The next morning, Lars showed up at Varna Airport. Security footage captured him walking calmly. Then suddenly sprinting, without his luggage, out of the airport, across the parking lot, into a forest. He was never seen again. But the chilling part? Some say that final phone call didn't sound like Lars at all. It was flat. Robotic. And since he had no known enemies, no criminal record, and no mental health issues, the paranoia didn't make sense. Theories range from drugging to espionage to, somehow, possession. His phone was never recovered. His trail ended at the tree line. And all that's left is that final whisper. Please. Cancel my cards. 3. The area code 000 call. It started with curiosity. Around 2010, Reddit threads began filling with eerie reports, users getting calls from an impossible number, 000, 000. Some ignored them. Some picked up. Those who answered described a chilling silence. Then faint breathing. Others claimed they heard their name spoken in a whisper. One user, a college student, picked up out of boredom. The voice on the other end began repeating his exact thoughts. Not words he'd said out loud. Thoughts. Don't answer. Hang up. This isn't normal. Then, a high-pitched tone and click. He posted the story in real time, but when others tried calling the number back, it didn't exist. Carriers couldn't trace it. Telecom companies claimed it was a spoof, a glitch in the system. But how do you spoof a number that doesn't belong to any provider? Some believed it was early AI testing. Others suspected military psych experiments. But the creepiest theory? The voice wasn't trying to hurt you. It was trying to replace you. And if you answered, it might already have. 4. The Ruth Price 911 tape. It sounds like something from a horror movie. But this is real. The Ruth Price 911 call is one of the most disturbing emergency recordings ever shared online. Ruth was an elderly woman living alone in California. One night, she called 911 in a panic, her voice shaky, pleading. "I don't know who he is. He's trying to break into my house. Please send someone." The dispatcher, calm and detached, asked for her address again. Ruth repeated it. Then, suddenly, a scream. You hear the line rattle. Her voice fades into raw terror. Oh God. And then silence. The tape ends there. To this day, no official record has confirmed what happened to her. Some say the call was used for 911 training, that Ruth Price wasn't real. But others claim it was indeed genuine, and the lack of documentation is either due to mishandling or a deliberate cover-up. The tape resurfaces every few years. It never gets easier to hear. And no matter how many times you listen, you never hear her survive. 5. The toy phone that called back. It was supposed to be cute. A pink plastic toy phone, no batteries, no electronics, just one of those toddler playsets with buttons that beep when pressed. A young mother bought it for her 3-year-old daughter at a thrift store. The girl was obsessed, talking to imaginary friends on it every day. One evening, as the mom cooked dinner, she heard her daughter giggling in the next room. Okay. I'll come play now. Curious, she peeked in. The girl sat cross-legged on the carpet, toy phone in her lap. The mom smiled, until the phone rang. Not a pretend beep. A real ringtone. The child picked it up, nodded seriously, and said, "He says you shouldn't have taken it from the store." The mother froze. She took the toy apart, finding nothing inside, no wiring, no speaker, nothing capable of sound. That night, the girl wouldn't sleep. She kept asking to hide the phone under the house. "He's mad," she whispered. "He says you're next." The toy was gone by morning. But the mother kept hearing that ringtone, from nowhere. Before we move on, leave a comment if you've ever had a call that didn't sit right. 6. The disconnected line. In 1999, a man named David was grieving the loss of his wife, who had died suddenly from a heart condition. Every evening, out of habit, he'd call her voicemail, just to hear her voice. One night, he accidentally dialed the wrong number. Instead of the robotic voicemail message, a woman picked up. Her voice was quiet. "Hello?" Confused, David apologized and hung up. But something about her voice. It sounded familiar. A week later, he tried again. Same wrong number. Same voice. "You don't have to call anymore," she said gently. "I'm okay." Shaken, he asked who it was. The voice hesitated. Then whispered his name. His chest went cold. He tried calling back, over and over. But the line was always dead. When he asked the phone company about the number, they insisted it was disconnected years ago. David never called again. But some nights, his phone would ring once. Then stop. He stopped answering numbers he didn't recognize, just in case he couldn't handle hearing her voice again. Or worse. She wasn't alone. 7. The Exorcist prank that wasn't. In 2011, a group of high schoolers found an old Exorcist audio clip online, a distorted, demonic voice growling in Latin. They used it as a prank ringtone, calling each other late at night to freak one another out. It worked, until it didn't. One night, one of the teens received a call from an unknown number. Expecting a friend's prank, he picked up and stayed quiet. But the voice didn't play a clip. It spoke. Slowly. Directly. Stop mocking me. The voice was the same, but not pre-recorded. It answered when the boy whispered back. When he checked the call log afterward, the number it came from was his own. Experts later said spoofing is technically possible, but not when calling yourself. Some theorized about hack-tethered phones or digital mimicry. Others suggested something older, something angry, piggybacking through the frequency. Whatever it was, it wanted them to stop. The group deleted the file that night. But the boy still gets anonymous calls. He says they always come at 3 a.m. and the voice never sounds quite human. 8. The call that predicted death. It doesn't ring. There's no ID. No record of a number. But the pattern keeps happening. On Reddit and paranormal forums, multiple users have described a chilling phenomenon: strange phone calls that arrive moments before a loved one dies. The calls are always brief. Just static. Sometimes, deep breathing. Sometimes, a name. One woman described hearing faint clicking, followed by her mother's name whispered through crackling static. 20 minutes later, her phone rang again, this time from the hospital. Her mother had just passed. Another user claimed their brother received a call the night before a fatal car accident. A voice said only, "Don't forget." Grief experts call it coincidence. Auditory projection. But when enough people share the same pattern, people start listening. Some believe these are premonition echoes, the final ripple before a soul moves on. Others think something darker travels with death, announcing its arrival. Whatever the cause, the message is always the same. It's already happening. And you can't stop it. 9. The voicemail in a foreign tongue. In 2018, a Twitter user posted something strange: a voicemail filled with static, followed by eerie, robotic code. Buried in the distortion was a cryptic voice saying in Indonesian, "Bahaya SOS." Danger. SOS. Hidden further in the clip was a string of phonetic military call signs. Sierra, Delta, Alpha, Tango, Charlie. The internet exploded with theories. Some claimed it matched emergency black box audio. Others insisted it was a hoax. But the user who posted it said it came from a phone that had been stolen weeks earlier, and then mysteriously returned. No one ever confirmed the origin of the recording. Phone companies had no record of the number calling. Reddit threads speculated everything from spy satellites to time loops to coded warnings from missing aircraft. Some even believed it was linked to the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. But as quickly as it spread, it vanished. The voicemail was deleted. The user deleted their account. Still, copies circulate. And if you listen closely, some swear the last voice on the tape isn't saying SOS. It's saying your name. 10. The final ring. On September 11, 2001, the world changed, and so did the way we understand final moments. Dozens of voicemails came in from those trapped in the Twin Towers or aboard hijacked flights. One of the most famous was left by C.C. Lyles, a flight attendant on United 93. In the message to her husband, her voice is steady, loving. She says goodbye. She prays. She whispers, "I love you." And then, she adds something strange. It's a frame. Some believe she meant a frame of the building, structural collapse. Others insist it referred to a setup, a conspiracy, a clue. Audio experts debated it endlessly. Was it background noise? A misheard phrase? Her husband claimed she wouldn't have said something cryptic in her final words. But to this day, no one can confirm exactly what she meant. The voicemail remains archived, raw, chilling, and sacred. In the quiet just before the end, every word matters. And when a voice speaks from the edge of disaster, sometimes, it leaves behind more questions than answers. Some calls leave silence hanging in the room. Some calls echo in your brain, long after you've hung up. These 10 legends are more than late-night nightmares. They're the unknown voices in our digital world. This was Brainrot Digest. Hit the bell. Share the story you're still afraid of. And don't answer the call after midnight.